Twitch chat, I believe that we will play soon at Hashinshin. Wait, we aren't a cult? No, this is not a cult. Not a cult. Okay, let's continue our save. See a container you can't open? Equip a pry bar. Wait, I can do that? Wait. What was I doing? Oh, Jesus. Fridge victim body. Send victim's body to processing. Interview the Wild Pines rep. Find the representative of the logistics company who owns the harbor and ask her about the murder. She should know about here somewhere. I remember there was something up here. I remember there was something up here that I couldn't open. And now I want to go open it. I didn't realize I could just pry my way in with a bar. Like right there. Pry it. On Ultra Series gloves. Cool. +1 half-light. What's half-light?
Oh, hey, mister. I need to be back to talk with old Leah here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larisse said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back.
Hey Hashinshin, do you miss Atmos, Wriggles, Innervating Locket, Heart of Gold,
I had some
Force of
questions for
Natra,
you.
etc. Also,
If
what
that's
about
too
old
much trouble.
Atrox?
No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And all I know is all not for sharing. Thought I might have more. get down there? Does this work? I don't think I can get down there from my side. Why do I get that? Great. You can sleep after 21. Sleeping heals all your health and morale. Okay, so where would the union representative, now the logistics company representative, where would they be? Their clothes inside, cheap secondhand clothes, smelling of strangers' body
Don't
odors.
be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy, that sounds off. Save the economy? What are you talking about? Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash. Keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco. That doesn't make any sense. Why exactly does the economy need saving? Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods just sitting here, not getting bought? We've got to keep the flow of goods moving. Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? Too bad, officer. Kids make it worthwhile. Without kids, who's going to be around to enjoy the economy? He points at the clothes. Don't let me stop you. Open the box and browse a little. Browse through the box. You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places. Perception. The box smells like cat piss, or like an old person with no money. Economical, but also trendy, the street vendor shouts. Look firsthand, buy secondhand, keep the economy moving. Composure. Find something worth salvaging from that pile of rags. Success. Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Oh. Surf, it says, but also wind, summer, 100% waterproof, and sport, all in different typeface. Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir. Sure. Gotta prepare for springtime, right? The street vendor seems pleased. He said this game company is paying him for playing it on stream. I literally never said that ever. Take a 2-week vacation for spreading bullshit that you have no fucking clue what you're doing. Well, that's really ugly. course it got evaporated. Why is he spreading bullshit like that? Let's go talk to this friendly guy. G'day to you, officers. A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side of the waterlock and on an enormous billboard that has fallen down into the canal between them. First things first, what are you doing here, man on the waterlock? My friend Barry the Butcher is stuck on the other side of the waterlock. I'm keeping him company and eating his salami. Oh. From the corner of your eye, you see a man in a yellow shirt and gray overalls waving at you from across the canal. He seems disappointed about the wreckage of the waterlock and the salami. The man on the waterlock picks the skin off a slice of salami and takes a sizable bite. Very good stuff. Anything I could do you for, officer? Do you want to cause the wreckage? I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign. Weird, huh? Then again, plenty of daredevil drivers in Revenchol. Can I smell that salami? Sure thing. He cuts off a slice of salami. Hey, I got healing. Continue. Perception. It is salty. It is savory. It is chewy. The hangover only makes the salami more tasty. Want some too, officer? He turns to the lieutenant. The lieutenant ponders the offer for a moment, then decides to go for it. Why not? He takes a slice of salami from the man and chews on it. Do you have any idea what's further down the coast? Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarro church. Not much use to the congregation, though. There always seems to be something wrong with it. He thinks for a moment. Yeah, not really much else. Just bombed out ruins. Right then. Bye. Roy's Pawn Shop. So, where is the company that owns this place? What about you, random stranger?
Life doesn't need to be a struggle.
He covers his mouth to hide a burp.
Oh, I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to angry old Rene first.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape?
Rene, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, alright?
This one's still chewing on his sandwich.
I am trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old, I can see that. We're both old. Now, stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
Physical instrument. These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never. Alright, I got this. Ball time. Physical instrument. That's the spirit. Don't even waste your breath asking about the game. They wouldn't know anyway. They're way past their prime. Grab the ball and show them how it's done. 92% success rate. Success. You're immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter, you'll make this work. Feel the ball. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. Neck? It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight. The nervous system calibrating until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready. Take in the surroundings. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball. There is time for a last glance inward. Who am I? An embodiment of pure motion, a finely tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. The inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let go. Be the bullet. Merde, the old soldier yells in outrage. Bordel de merde. Rhetoric, a whorehouse of shit. Visual calculus. It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24 and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about. What the hell is your problem? Not a weak triceps, that's for sure. I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful. I'm sensing anger, and I don't understand why. You vandalized our game, son, he tries to calm himself. We can't play pétanque with 5 buells. Pétanque? Yes, pétanque, the man says, raising his voice again. You ruined our pétanque game. We want our buell back. Take it easy, Renee. The jolly one tries to defuse the situation. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done. Of course there's harm done, you orange slug. The heel of his cavalry boot slams in the ground. You owe us a goddamn buell. Okay, I will try to fix this. Good, he nods. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now why did you approach us? Rhetoric, yes. Why did you come here? It's unlikely that you know anything about the murder. Logic, you never know. He might know something. This is a good vantage point. Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard, whirling in rags? Unfortunately, I don't, he shrugs. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement, but this affair's passed me by completely. And most of the locals? And Martinez, then. The union is the law. Can you really blame them? But why don't you have a problem with cops? Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order in our streets. Rhetoric. He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics. What about policewoman? My feminist side's going through. I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. There are no duties RCM women couldn't carry out. But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain more challenging tasks, don't you, officer? No, I don't think there's any evolutionary inequality at play here. Really, officer? He smirks. Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top. Gender equality is a very noble, very modern idea, but in real life, problem roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further. Renee, I found your guard booth. Did I? Yes, the Bourdiers Union plays me to stand vigil during the nights. He looks down. Not out of any political allegiance, mind you. I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway. And money is tight, he adds with an extra sigh. You must have seen something on the night of the murder. You both look right into the yard. Your booth looks right into the yard. Yes, it does, he nods. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since Monday. Hold on. Why are you on leave? It's a private matter, he says with dignity. Nothing to do with your investigation. You see, officer, Rene is the kind of man who'd rather die than admit he needs medical assistance or, God forbid, seek it. A real man's man. He's just gonna ride it out. I'm fine, goddammit. Mind your own business. The outburst makes him clutch his chest. It's nothing. Just gotta cut back on coffee. So who was working your shift that night? No one. The booth has been unmanned since last Monday. He looks suddenly very old and tired. There's no other guard. It's just me. Kim Kitsurugi, my lieutenant, says, no one has been guarding the container yard since last Monday? Yes, he nods, before hesitantly continuing. It's not actually an issue. I mean, look, officers, his partner jumps in. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before, Rene. Mr. Clark had that booth built specifically for him. It's mostly decorative. Mostly decorative? The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill-minded individuals, he tries to argue. Everard created this job for Rene because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting terror reflects bad on the whole neighborhood. His words. Rene is but one man. We need a program. Get all the elderly back on the job market. Keep folks motivated. Look, officer, he pauses like, doesn't actually know how to reply. Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? I saw a picture in there. You were in it. Who's the girl? His features stiffen and he gets a cold look. She is nobody. This is none of your concern, and I refuse to discuss my private affairs with the RCM. That lady is Jean-Marie Beaulieu, Gaston speaks to the soft voice, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody. We got it, thanks. Yes, like I said, he brings it up again. I would be up anyway, so might as well keep an eye out. It keeps my senses sharp. I saw the statue of Philip III near the roundabout. Ah, yes. King Philip III on his steed, a reminder of what Reventral once was. Oh, absolutely. He smiles as if reliving a pleasant memory, at the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold. A superpower, feared and respected, a testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king, someone who knows how to rule. How should a true king rule? Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded amongst his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to... Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened. There is some weariness in his voice now. He's heard this rant many times before. The carabinier doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve. What was that about cocaine? Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple-nosed candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts, he chuckles. His egocentricity is borderline legendary. You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? He asks, obviously annoyed. That's why the Philippian kings used cocaine, for clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum. Regnum cocainum. Okay. Revenchol's finest years, he seems to grow taller, brimming with pride about the past. Of course, Lieutenant marks dryly, clarity of vision, awareness. Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court medic administered a dose to his mother when she was in labor, and it's well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
My name.
Rhetoric. He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he? Seems like irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug users shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries. From what I've seen of the officers of the RCM, he begins looking you over, then stopping himself. But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policies. Let's talk about something else. You seem to be playing in a crater. Yes, the man nods. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. Does it have anything to do with all the bullet holes I've been seeing around? Yes, he replies with a reluctant nod. It was left by heavy artillery fire. Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire. But why? Why was heavy artillery used? Because that's what happens when communards... That's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Wait, who are the communards again? Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists. Call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special, the Carabiner frowns. Senseless sentimentality. Did you use artillery fire against them? Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked, he adds, squeezing a buell in his fist. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to Shrapnel bombs. We didn't, though, and we lacked caliber, God bless him. But the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. Logic. It was probably a bit more complicated than that. Why show them here in Martinez? Because this place is the damn beachhead, he says, pointing to the bay. Had to soften the commies up first. The beachhead? Yes, he nods, inspecting you with some disdain. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revenchol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revenchol during Operation Deathblow in 808. The other 2 are off of Stella Maris and the Delta. He points to the northeast. Deathblow. Sounds grim. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, he says, looking down at the soil, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses. Blood Ground, the other one shakes his head. You got old Rene going there, like he isn't angry enough already. I'll be right back. I need to get my food. Almost back, Twitch chat. Just need to get my milk. Okay, I'm back. Okay, where is... Where is... my headset? Okay. Okay. Hold on. The coalition? Mm-hmm. He grunts. Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs. But the enemy of my enemy and all that, they're the lesser evil. So I need to, take a bite of my food here. Jeez, this is thick. What the hell? Dear Lord. God, it's so thick. And big. Jesus, what the hell? Okay, hold on. Gonna try to take a bite. Wait, hold on. It's up. Oh. It's like a pancake with like cinnamon on it. But damn, it's one thick ass pancake. Yeah, nice, a little bit lopsided. It's trying to correct it. Jesus. Like, look at this. Look at how thick this fucking pancake is. Like, holy shit. How do you even eat this? I cannot possibly eat this. This bite is gonna be like my last bite, and I'm gonna be full already. Dear Lord. I can't. It's so dense. That's the right way to put it. It's so fucking dense. Like, holy shit. Is that why everything is so bombed out? Damn right, son. They laid the fire on this city before they stormed it. And it worked, too. There's a strange gleam in his eye. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they kept as a monument. A dark shadow runs across his face. And now the Union Socialists are practically running this place. Well, it's your own damn fault, the Jolly Man marks. You, we, the Coalition, Reventral, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course, they still hold influence. You don't even begin to truly understand the players on the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding thee. He stops mid-sentence and turns to you. What do you think? Rhetoric. Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one. That's how it should be. Soft socialists paving the way for the hard-working class to take over. Preposterous. Surely you don't mean it, he frowns. I'm just sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those commie hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking my piss in the mountains, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guolaum returned to Reventral, or even if that Dan clown Frizzle had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case. Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere, foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. He sighs. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the rule of suzerain with. What exactly is a suzerain? Let's go Frizzle. Who was this Frizzle? Damn Frizzle. He was the king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. The old veteran falls silent and massages his chest. He died in the hands of the hoi polloi in a very public execution. Composure. He slouches as he says that. It makes him smaller, admitting they left the king to the mob. You mentioned Gualarm? A true king in both blood and mind. Led Reventral before Frizzle. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile. Drama. Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Gualau abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it. What exactly is a suzerain? The suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already? He then slowly nods and says to himself, they've forgotten already. It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happens, when we took our last stand against the filth.
Let them lament my name.
Almost got me 2 years.
When we took our last stand against the filth and rode cavalry straight into gunfire. Composure. What is it about this old soldier that makes him stand so proud? Fail. All you observe is a veteran refusing to let go of the past in his old uniform. This is not uncommon. He catches your glance and nods. This is the uniform of the Royal Carabineers in service of Frizzle I, Gualaum, Le Lion, and the valiant King Philip V before him. Don't you mean Frizzle the Fun? You do not speak his name, Craven. Although he was a clown, he adds. He turns back to you. But he was our clown. Ours to ridicule and to mourn. There's something you missed. You will get to it. Don't worry. Thank you for your time. Rhetoric. Hey, pissed. Look around. Pissed. Hey, you. Who? Me? Yes, you. Word on the street is you're starting to build. You're ready. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. Again? Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet, but neither has love. Should we just stop building love too? Can't argue with that. So what about all the communism you've promised to build? Word on the street is you've woken up from 1,000 years of slumber, promising to erect a version of communism many times greater than any attempted before. Is that true? How come there's word on the street? You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie and eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pocket, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs. That kind of stuff. Alright, that sounds like me. Funky style, very funky. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder, or do we get right down to it? Roll up your sleeves and start building communism. Oh yeah, get the firing squads and the animal wagons ready. Wait, what? Firing squads? You didn't say anything about those. Too late to back out now. You can't make an omelet without breaking a few million eggs. Roll up your sleeves further and breathe in the pristine air. Ah, good. So we are now a feminist who's got my shit compressed. And I think I'm a famous person, but actually I don't anymore. Mazovian social economics. Building communism was some crazy idea that had its comeuppance 40 years ago. A fever that shook the world, never to return again. They were right, until he woke up today. A spiritual corpse responsive only to the call of Commodore Red, prostitutes, and Krasmazov. For him, communism is still a thing. He will single-handedly raise the commune of O2 from the oceanic trench where it has been resting, covered in ghosts and seaweed. He is the big communism builder. Come, witness his attempt to rebuild communism in the year 51. Okay. Let's use one of my skill points to unlock a thought. And we are going to start thinking about communism. We're going to be a feminist communist. With our shit compressed. And also, we think we're an old dead rock star. Can I forget this? It's not. I've never been this way.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue d'Esperance. You wait and see.
The girl stares at the sailboat by the pier.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth? Blood type? The last time I was tested for Hep C?
We just want to know your name, little lady. No need to get
And
defensive.
here I was, trying to be polite. Just can't win with you pigs.
Despite the sass, she puts the brush aside. Conceptualization. A brush, an artist, the red splatter is urban expressionism? You keep looking off the side. What are you looking at? She nods disdainfully towards the woman performing maintenance of the boat docked at the pier. Hatred, disgust, it is difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlant features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring. She hisses. That ozone whore. Someone's got to keep an own on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her. Encyclopedia. Ozone is an archipelago 2 gays travel away from Reventral. Its moneyed residents used to posh it's used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques. Rarely have reason to visit matinees. Who is she? Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. He nods in her direction. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions. You know, do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet. Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozone. Do you know anything about the recent murder? She wrinkles her nose. I ain't no Stitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts. Actually, there is a shortage of people who will talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner. We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. What are you doing to the wall? Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aerial graffito visible from low orbit. She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. So I don't know what to write? Have you ever tried your hand at graffito? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs around here, though. Just union cads. And my name's not Mona, so... Why are you so committed to defacing the building? This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know. Some of the forces of crime and social chaos with a well-sized invitation. I have an opinion on this. Want to hear it? Yeah. Actually, I don't have an opinion. I lied. Lying is cool, I guess. She absent-mindedly paints a red streak on her left cheek. Catch you later, Cindy. Watch your back, ungulate. You've got eyes on you. I'm gonna talk to this union rep. Company rep. A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand in greeting.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbor. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
She steps closer and holds out her hand over the railing. Let's just shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
Her grip is tight and cold. Interfacing. Like steel, there is strength there. If she wanted, she could sink her nails deep into your skin.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will, gladly.
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead in this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
Rhetoric. There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even. This is a tactic. Reaction speed. It happens quicker than a shooting star. But did the lieutenant just wink at you?
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines Group.
You're on a boat. Why, yes, I am. She looks at the deck under her feet. Green and white sails flutter overhead. Not a lot of people on boats, are there? Of course there are. She looks around. We are on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around? Wait, we're on an archipelago? Look around. Yes, we are. She raises her brow. We are on Le Calais. Encyclopedia. Technically the neighboring ozone...
Let them lament my name.
Oh hey man, how's it going? Hope you're having a great day.
I am indeed. Great. Technically, the neighboring Ozone and Face-a-la-Mer island groups are archipelagos, while Le Calais, by contrast, is a single fertile landmass, the fourth largest island in the world, and it is not an archipelago. Wait, I thought Le Calais was one big island. Okay, she gives you a quick smile. If you want to get technical, the point is, we're all on islands here, and sail is still the most expedient way to get from one island to another, especially when you're in a hurry to resolve a strike. Still, I haven't seen anyone else sail a boat around here. I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Camima motor carriage either. Actually, the lieutenant becomes defensive. The motor carriage has been specifically issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Reventrol Industrial Harbor. It's not a toy. Neither is this, the woman pats the cabin hardtop. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Reventrol, between the city and the islands. Rhetoric. You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around in this boat because she's rich. Yes, I do. Rhetoric. Before you do, it would be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers. Does she have a name? The boat? No. It is called Cordelate 19, because that's the type of sloop it is. Okay, but what kind of boat is it? It's a pleasure craft, a 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing, though these days I mainly use it for business. How do you like it? My sloop? I like it a lot. Her lips curl into a wry smile. It's the eel's hips, baby. I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating. Shut up, Kitsurugi. Do you have a license for this boat? Officer, I assure you I'm highly qualified pleasure craft operator. Perception. The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, right as the boat's hull as she smiles. Half-light. Qualified pleasure craft operator. So charming. Where's the damn license? Can I see your license? I just renewed its safety inspection last month, officers. It is completely seaworthy. In fact, it's taken part in not one, but 2 insolindic regattas. Even finished once. What happened the other time? The other time I would have finished the race, were it not for an urgent work matter, much like the one I'm on now. Still need to see a license, ma'am. Actually, you don't. But I'm pretty sure I do. I police. It's a little known fact among those who police that the Wayfarer Act specifically denies the RCM the authority to demand anyone its operator license. Encyclopedia. The Wayfarer Act is one of the few pieces of legislation governing human interaction in the Reventrol Zone of Control, along with the Emergency Trade and Elements Act. The what now? It's one of the fundamental laws in Reventrol, designed to limit the authority of local institutions. Part of it prohibits the RCM from requesting most documents and licenses without permission from a coalition representative. Rhetoric. It's a law that keeps Reventrol what it is, in limbo. Wait, exactly how little is known is this fact? I was just being polite. Even school children know the Wayfarer Act. So we can't pull over random civilians and demand their papers? That's weak. Unless it's their passport, no. Do you want to ask for the lady's passport? Yes, I'm going to need to see your passport. Of course. She searches the pockets of her raincoat, producing a bundle of documents in a sealed plastic bag. Look at her passport. The woman is silent, smiling while the waves lap against the hull. In your hand, under the plastic, a light blue passport saying Republic of Vesper. The coat of arms is a lion and an ostrich. Sejant. The Republic of Vesper, formerly the Republic of Vesper Messina, was once a dual kingdom, an amicable parting of ways.
Let them lament my name.
An amicable parting of ways
S'mores
produced
hash MK hash work.
two constitutional monarchies. Vesper, the richer of the two, is an occidental nation known for its proximity to the Pale and its exotic financial derivatives. Anything else? It's a stable country, and yet there's always been something ominous about its perfect stability. It's placed at the edge of the Mundi Isola, overlooking the Ubi-Sun Isles, fracturing into the greater unrest of the Pale. Look at the photo page. The woman, born in the year 3 in the commune of Revenchol, smiles at you, face adorned with frown lines and crow's feet. Photo is recent. The name reads, Rejoice Leighton Messier. Your name is Rejoice? Yes, but please don't call me that. Why? Joyce is much more efficient. You're from the Republic of Vesper? My husband is. I have dual citizenship. A Vespertine is handier when traveling. Everything appears to be in order. She nods and turns the plastic bag to her coat. Let's talk about the economics of this boat you're on. Oh my, the E word, she crosses her arms. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class? Pessimundo. Class wartime, baby. Let's just go with yes, exactly. Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator. He doesn't look like he thinks you'll best her in single combat. Then what does that say? She points to the plaque on the side of the pier. Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A? 33A, this old proletarian haunts here. She waves at the ruins looming overhead. As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata. Fire back, quick, with my reaction speed. Your synapses flash. This house was built before the revolution. Okay, it is anticentennial. She looks at the building looming overhead. The people who live there now lead a different lifestyle, if you know what I mean. I assure you, they drove quite a hard bargain for this space, but you're right. I am a bourgeoisie woman, and this is my fast, lightweight, interminably bourgeoisie boat. I think I have a handle on the boat thing. Good. She takes a sip of her thermal cup. Tell me about Wild Pines. What do you do? What we do. I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking. Rhetoric. There's a touch of discomfort there. She merely wants to represent. So what do they do? The Pines' core competency is logistics, container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. She points to the small dots on the horizon. See those airships there, blinking? Those are shipping. Those are the shipping side of things. Then to the east, towards the harbor, and that is a terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil, and gas exploration, offshore platforms. Encyclopedia. The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revencholian Indo tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo tribes remain. What are the other Indo tribes? Saint Baptiste, Lum, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star. You're in good company, it seems. Why, thank you. She does not register the real meaning of the remark. How much money does the Wild Pines have? I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue. God damn bourgeoisie. Numbers like that mean nothing to me. Yes, past a certain point, numbers begin to seem imaginary, but they are quite real for the 72,000 employees who depend on Wild Pines for their paychecks. A conglomerate the size of Wild Pines is like a shark. If it stops moving and growing, it will die. Then what becomes of those 72,000 families? It is a tremendous responsibility. But where does Wild Pines get all these billions? They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samoan and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminoes and charted Lo Manthong on behalf of the Southern. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of this system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it. Probably helps to start with a royal monopoly. Ooh! You know more than you let on. She takes a sip and looks you over afresh. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo-tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No Southern did that. What does such a huge system want with a place like this? You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, she gives you a little smile, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo? 8% of all cargo in the world. That's quite an endeavor indeed. She nods forcefully. There are no minor cogs in the system. Each terminal must be accounted for, lest the entire system break. Every hiccup in such a system means thousands lose their jobs, the world over. I'm here to ensure that doesn't happen. What can you tell me about this strike? Everything, she smiles, right up to, but not including, trade secrets. Well, I want to hear about those trade secrets. First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade in elements that gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus. How do I repeal it then? Why? By throwing off half a century of foreign domination under the Coalition. Unfortunately for you, the Coalition also leases you the right to police West Revachol. Logic. You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words. Leave it alone. But I'm derailing us. You want to know about the strike? What is your role in this precisely? I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines, and I return with Wild Pines' counteroffer. And how are the talks going? They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago after that awful lynching took place. Reaction speed. Wait, she just admitted that the lynching and the strike are connected. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2.2 meter racist behemoth blocking the gates. You mean Jean-Luc, my race mentor? He's a great teacher, a man of virtue. I didn't even, like, buy into that guy's race rhetoric, so why can I keep telling people he's my race mentor?
Let them lament my name.
14, a third to the way to the meaning of everything.
So the strike is connected to the lynching. Her eyes narrows. Yes, I believe there is a connection, but that's a subject for later. I don't want to talk about Jean-Luc, because he's not my race mentor. How are the talks going before the lynching? Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived. And when did you first arrive? I arrived 3 weeks ago, she thinks. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM. He looks at his notes. But the strike began in December. I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Goumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Goumont, despite concessions he'd granted the unions in prior negotiation. This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike? Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the unions won significant successions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time the demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. Ludicrous even, it's meant. What happened to this Goumont? Mr. Clark told him to. How did he put it? She pauses to compose herself. Fuck off, midget. Goumont is short of stature, you see. Not cool. In my communist feminist society, you can't call people midgets. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and it was more than fair with him in the union. What are their demands? There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes. Every worker, a member of the board. Most of the workers probably don't know what that means. I like it. They might also like their other slogan, demand democracy. Nope, that's weak. Not hard communist enough for me. Personally, I agree. It lacks the pizzazo of every worker, a member of the board. What exactly do they mean by it, though? What's the demand? It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines Group makes a decision about anything, really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers at its Martinez terminal. Just to understand, this is but one of the 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they're also kings of the 72,000 employees of the Wild Pines Group. That's pretty funny, I have to admit. They're having a blast. But how can they afford it? After 4 months, my presumption was they would prefer a more practical solution. What are you going to do? I'm not sure. Naturally, I assumed that was just their opening position. A hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up. Just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one. Excuse me, the lieutenant looks up from his notes. From whom did you hear about this lynching? Her reply comes quick. I first heard it from the boya at the gate. The one whose very name advertises his aversion of work. I think he said it was call me mañana. This checks out. The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? The scabs? She raises her brow. You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the union refuses to? Reaction speed. Don't let her answer it herself. No, I mean scabs. Okay, let's call them strike breakers. If these strike breakers are organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not yet, at least. Rhetoric. It's implied she's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion. What do you think of Everett? Everett Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. Everett Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. You can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Really? Of course not. Everett is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, vicious goo where you and I have blood. If you were to prick him with something sharp, you could see it oozing out. A knife, maybe? No, a rapier. You sound like you're about to take a rapier to him. Oh, heavens, no. We get along just fine. Yet now that you mention it, I can't stop imagining that black trickle just dribbling down his double chin. She stops and smiles. That's Everett, all right. He is the most corrupt individual I've ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there's anything more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic than it's his twin brother, Edgar. I remember hearing something about this Edgar. Have you seen him? No. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everett does. And when one's term foreman is up, the other one takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. What about the union itself, outside of the brothers Claire? The Deboidiers Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. She adjusts her hair. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Claire came and transformed it into a, how do you say? She hesitates, looking for the right expression. A mob? The lieutenant says succulently. The Deboidiers are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, we're forced to cooperate with them. Refreshingly honest, officer, she nods. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everett and his brother. She turns to you. And your opinion, detective. If I may ask, I'm a curious and talkative person, you see, she explains. Would you say the Deboidiers Union is an effective advocate for the rights of local working men? A giant leech sucking the life out of Revenchol. Basically a socialist mob. I prefer not to have an opinion on these things. I'm gonna say a giant leech. I kind of don't like him. Indeed, and a hungry one, she nods. Sadly, Wild Pines has cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungers. One more thing. You said something happened in the elections? I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous foreman of the union. She disappeared. Disappeared? Yes, on the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work, ever. End of story. This forewoman, her name? Sadly, the company records do not even give a name. She's just forewoman in private correspondence. Holly. I don't even know if it's a sure or given name, and I don't have access to the union's files. Eerie. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with them. By the way, I've talked to Everett Clare. You have? She smiles carefully. And how did you like Mr. Clare? Can I say I like socialism, but fuck this guy in particular? I did not like him. Oh, come now. He has his uses. How else would he have stayed empowered all these years? Oh, wait, actually. She answers her own question. Corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic worm-like corruption, reaching into the bowels of the earth. She looks at the ground and nods. The position of my unusual colleague does not reflect the official policy. I hope you understand. The RCM does not pick sides. Of course, and I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I am not a corrupt worm myself. She turns to you. However, if you felt like discussing something, how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural. We would only be, she smiles, gossiping. Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she says about these things. Mr. Everett is helping me find my gun. Oh, her eyes become large and round. That's so helpful of him. The lieutenant looks at you and you can swear his jaw muscles trembling. He's able to contain his anger and surprise. Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. It's part of detecting. Incredible, she shakes her head. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Mr. Everett says it's almost ready to be found soon. Did he now? Her eyes narrow. Well, then it should be any day now. Unless, of course, he's lying to you. Anyway, was there anything else you heard? Perhaps he is. I'd rather talk about something else for now, if you don't mind. Of course, detective, she simmers down. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat. Until then, is there anything I can help you with? Why don't you tell me about this lynching? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. She falls silent for a moment, contemplating something. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers. Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. The lieutenant hands her a piece of blue plastic. I'm Lieutenant Kitsurugi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice. Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective? She returns the detective badge and turns to you. Remember, an old partner told you I recently suffered from an unusual medical episode? My lost badge is related to it. I see. She looks increasingly worried. So you're saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Yes. It's possible after a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life in the world. I could have eaten it for all I know. I don't remember anything. This world, this city, nothing. Yeah, we're gonna go with, yeah, lost it. I can't hear you, darling. Speak up, please. I have to answer one of them? I'm not allowed to just be like, yeah, it's gone. Okay. It's possible. After a night of heavy drinking, I lost all memory of my life in this world. Oh dear, she sighs with compassion, sadness even. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation. She must have been suspecting something for a while now. As I said, ma'am, the lieutenant interjects, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM. Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen the badge. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial negotiation. We're gonna go with negotiating. We fit. Whoa, shit! Fucking success at 17%. Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials. I'll be frank with you. She puts down her thermal cup. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible. You're in, but expect you to drive a hard bargain. Like what? Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in the Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. They're profiting from this trade. The company has tried looking into this matter, to no avail. Perhaps someone in your authority and resources might tone her of all the right stones. Or, she picks the cup back up, you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that might be a lost cause. Detective, the lieutenant closes his notebook. A word in private before we continue. Excuse me for a moment, ma'am.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective.
It's not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. How did you hope it would go? Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and, you know, not volunteer us off to be your henchmen. Oh, so we're henchmen now? This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands. Logic. Maybe this is all her plan? She might have heard about you. I could just, you know, find my badge. Oh, he nods slowly. That would be fantastic. But do we have the time? The world's is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. Logic. The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. The company must have more ears on the ground. She could have known about my condition. I wouldn't go that far. Her reaction did come off as sincere to me. I think she's just quick to adapt. She's a professional after all. Let's get back to her. Okay, Twitch chat, I have a plan on how to negotiate with her when she's outsmarting us. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I think, we're gonna look for this badge. I like to chemistry. The sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. How long have you been up already? An hour? Sweet Lord, a whole hour, and you haven't thought about rum and lemonade in all that time. You truly extinguished all trace of yourself. Actually, should I be thinking about this? Looks like drinking hasn't turned out too well for me. Maybe you haven't turned out well for your drinking. Have you thought about that? Get a goddamn rum and lemonade into yourself, boy. Or better yet, leak that stain off the counter. Don't lick it. Don't lick it. What happened, man? You used to be cool. Go back to your boring normal person drink then. New task, find a booze and drink it. I don't need booze. I'm part of the revolution now. You asshole, let's talk about where my badge is. Man is sleeping at the table, wearing mud-caked boots and rolled-down overalls. The back of his shirt reads Wild Pines, encircled with a logo and a tree. Interfacing, a colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. Makes her finger itch. On the counter, rolled out in his open hand, you see blister pack of headache medicine. Take up the pills. Yay, we get magnesium. The man does not mind. You probably need them more than he does. Tutorial agent, you've just picked up medicine. This item is shown on your bottom left at the corner of your stream above your character portrait. Click the plus icon to heal your morale if you've taken morale damage. Well, I've already done that. Inspect the piece of plastic. It's a dock worker's ID. Doubling as a shift card or job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago St. John. Haven't I... I've already gotten a dock worker's badge, haven't I? I thought I had a dock worker's badge. Wild Pines, Feld, Capri, Tricentennial, Villiers, and La Salle. Names of Revacholian Indo tribes spring into your head, set loose at the mention of Wild Pines. Rural monopolies, octopuses and swordfish, most of them gone now. YBP, Expander, St. Batiste, Brightest Star, LUM, Resplendent, East Insolindic, Wetter, El Cassette. But isn't one missing? Wait, no, there are only 14. Then why did you feel there was a 15th Indo tribe? Why would I need to spend a thought point? Okay, now I'm curious. I'm going to spend a skill point to unlock this slot. And I'm going to think about what the 15th Indo tribe is. Steal the dock worker's ID. Your fingers find their way into the shekel, flipping open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop holds the plastic ID and all other bound pocketbook. And the man? The man lips a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it. We might never know. Better be quick. Steal the document. You slip the plastic ID card out of its loop and pocket it. The man continues to snore. Does the lieutenant's visual calculus? Just for the record, you look nothing like the man on the document. Does the lieutenant see me? No, he's looking the other way, perhaps purposely. Swipe through the pocketbook and take what's inside. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note says 5 real. It feels nice and greasy. Electrochemistry. Yum yum. Money. Think of all the things you could buy with this. The synapses in your brain fires with glee. I'm not drinking, brain. Now let's wake him up. You gently shake his shoulder, but nothing happens. The man probably could sleep soundly in his ship's engine room. Alright. What about you, buddy? It's all about money, you know.
Hello again, sweetie.
Sweetie needs money. Do sweeties get money? Our expression becomes very serious. Oh, sweetie, I heard about your conversation with the manager about your financial troubles. When do you get your next paycheck? What is a paycheck? I haven't seen any paychecks. You must be joking, he pauses, reflecting. Although our pay does sometimes feel like a joke. It's not easy to assert your right to a decent living wage when you don't have a strong union behind you. Maybe you should talk to Everett, the union leader. Already did that. Everett's money wasn't going to last forever. You need more. Every day, a new expense. Tug on our heartstrings. Failure. Try to force a tear out of your duct. Really rip into the whole emotional aggression thing. Oh god, I'm gonna die on the street, aren't I? Fucking shit, it's all over for me. Or course of should I asked you. Stupid me. I'm gonna die in the street. Oh shoot. We need to take drugs because we failed to cry for an old lady. Huh. Officer, he leans in so that only you can hear it, but his tone is forceful. Get a hold of yourself, please. Sweetie, I'm sorry, but I think you need more than I can give you. She looks distressed and even a little frightened. Okay then, let's change the subject. Oh no, I'm so sorry I don't have any money for you. If there's anything else I can do for you, just ask. I must leave now. Ah, yes. Having to take drugs because I'm pretty bad at this. Blue door. You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue. Try to push on the door. The door does not bulge. I wonder where this door leads. You do? The lieutenant regards you with patient skepticism. It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Where do you think it leads? Part of the whirling in rags. There's something about this place that makes me want to know. Eccentric, but okay. I suppose we could look into it as a side investigation. It's hardly a side investigation. You already have a name for it. The door... No, the door is a mega investigation. I'm calling it Behind the Blue Door. New task. Explore the whirling secret passages. It's hardly worth a title. He looks at the door, then you. Anyway, Garde is a person to ask about this. The cafe manager touched the door. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch. The stainless steel is door flush with its frame on every side. Old cobalt paint, rough on the fingers. 40, 50 since the store is painted, maybe. That guy doesn't speak English, so it's kind of useless, right? Cafe manager doesn't like me so much. What's that? Yay, stealing money. Yay, stealing drugs. Low on morale, put points into volition. Do I have any skill points available? Oh, I do. Volition. Hey, now I have 2 morale. Now if an old lady attacks me, I hopefully don't break into a panic and die. Kim tries not to look at your broken down bathroom door. Empathy. Kim also tries not to look at the pile of tape viscera on the carpet, or the weird suitcase on the hat rack, or the plotted pant dying in the corner, but it's all just too morbid to ignore. The man is fighting hard not to trip on the tape, and not to send any of the bottles rolling across the floor. Endurance. Where identifiable sludge makes it hard for him to breathe. It smells of vomit in here. This is where the magic happens. By that you mean crimes against humanity? Crimes against myself. I have no idea what that means. He looks towards the exit longingly. Well, we need to figure out... I'm beautiful. Use your chain cutters to fix the faucet. Stop steam from fogging up the mirror. -10. Tool not in hand. Okay, well let's get the tools in our hand then. %. Let's try it. Failure. The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt to twist the faucet into place. But you know one thing for sure, you've probably never been a plumber. Is that a door? Bed is cold and not particularly inviting, but it's yours. The sheets look awful. The app you go to sleep becomes available every night after 21. Okay, so far, my badge does not seem findable. This door doesn't help. Oh, I guess I only had one shoe on the whole time. Well, now I've got 2. So that's good. So now I've got a pry bar and chain cutters. Secret task complete. Find your other shoe. Can't experience 10. There they both are. 2 identical shoes, both conspicuously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. Reunited on your feet, like 2 baby crocodiles. Wait, these do not look like normal cop shoes. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not what you are. How do they fit? Good. They're balanced. Comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told. Let's take an autosave. I don't think it's autosaved in a while. We're gonna keep using this flashlight. Okay, we're not getting in that room. I suspect that's where my ID is. Okay, so this flashlight's kind of pissing me off now. So is this it? Okay, so... Okay. Let's talk to this guy.
Can I help you?
About that money I owe. Can I pay with this check? Show him the giant novelty check. The cafeteria manager stares at you, baffled. You must be joking, right? You come here, trash everything, and now you want to pay with a novelty check? This isn't a game show. I'm not going to accept it. You owe me cold hard money. I want to see that money in the palm of my hand, every single cent. You can cash it in at the local free date near the harbor gates, so it might not be enough to cover it. Huh.
Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything.
I need to exchange this giant novelty check for cash. Oh, wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. She rolls up the giant novelty check. Looks like she's seen it before and slips it under the counter. Anything else I can do for you? No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you by supplying you with cash. That was so easy. Worrying, sir. Do you have a fridge? Right behind you. She nods her at the buzzing machine in the corner. You're right, this is a fridge. Wicked. Yeah, she's not really paying attention to you anymore. I need to store a corpse in there. She keeps chewing on her gum. You're joking, right? No, I'm not joking. I need to store the corpse of a hanged man in your fridge. I'm okay. She looks at the fridge. It wouldn't even fit, you know? Now that I'm looking at it, maybe a glass-doored fridge in a public grocery store isn't the best option for storing a corpse. Well, thanks then, for the clerk. I should... Yay, I gained some morale for my bottles. Okay, so... Where would I find the badge? If I could get the badge, I could talk to the one lady really easily. But I feel like I've exhausted every option. I mean, haven't I been everywhere? I mean, they wouldn't just put the badge, like, lying around and you'd have to be, like, holding tab, right? Mail collection box. Okay. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk Number 8102, with the slogan, Mankind Be Vigilant. Good old mail delivery box. Box seems happy. Eat shit, pig. Fucked by the con. And Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore and base sete mailbox also. Been there. Post let Eventier mail collection box. Been there. Mail collection box seems cathartic. Thankfully even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow. Been there.
store is open.
I am the law! I know, sir. She stomps her feet to feel warmer.
Yes, people get that you are the law. You really don't have to keep saying it.
I like saying
Are
it.
you interested in a new and exciting book?
I am the law! Is it okay if I ask you some questions?
Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books.
Say, child, you wouldn't happen to know a good fridge, would you? A fridge? Yeah, it's like a big fridge a cop could put a dead body into. Ha, she smiles. You mean like the ice bear fridge? Man, that's scary. Ice bear fridge? Yes, like a bear, but white. There's a fridge below the building in the basement, she points underground, with red glowing eyes. I went back there once, behind the bookstore. She lowers her voice. And Mom doesn't want me to go there anymore. Not that I want to, it was pretty scary. And there's a big fridge there? Yes, she smiles. One more thing. How do I get inside the building? That's a problem. The only way is through the bookstore, but Mom is pretty strict about not letting anyone in. But I don't know. You're a policeman, she says it with admiration, eyeing you up and down. Maybe you can convince her somehow. I gotta go. Talk to your mom. With my gun. Let's just learn about this place before we, A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by the We're All related merchandise. Stargabe, what board games do you have here? Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for me. Or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insolente. Insolent. It's an education game for those interested in geography. Rabruder is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children. I don't feel as if I have any kids. Friends are technically like family. She fiddles with her pendant, thinking. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. Suzerainty. I don't know. It's like a poor choice, considering I don't even have a room yet. I'm getting a blanket. I'm a bit chilly. Ugh. Touch chat, don't backseat game. I have people blanket and people comfy? Really? Which one do you guys like more? Spam the better one. These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series. You see, they take a mullet over and over. Starkeep, what's all this crime fiction? Oh, a book, a couple spook novels hide amongst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do. Oh, crime, robberies, murders, she lowers her voice, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective. Is my hair annoying you guys? Great picture, Brooke. Very brochure. It's a tome of fascist magic. Rather candid. Have you noticed the most interesting thing about fascists was their magic? True, true. The plaque on the shelf reads biographies of famous people. You see a large variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Let them lament my name.
The Super Cop. Hashinshin less than 3.
Thank you. Starkeep, anything to note on this shelf? I would say, the woman hums to herself, the greatest innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool. Delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentric power. Who or what is innocence? Very influential historical figure, but surely I don't have to tell you that. She waves her hand as if casting aside the thought. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understanding of the innocentric system, getting a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Do you recommend it? Certainly. It's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos would be in otherwise. Inland Empire. You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important. So, there's something personal inside. Okay, I'll buy it. A true cultural touchstone, she nods. Enjoy the read. The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy. Crack open the immense tome. Browsing through the various chapters, you try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, even historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain. The educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No? Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready? Sure. That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Encyclopedia. Oh yeah, this is what I was made for. Okay, then tell me. A pop quiz is a short examination designed to test your knowledge without any prior warning or announcement. Such exams allow the teacher to assess how thoroughly the students have obtained the material at hand. Viola, now blast that first innocence. Half-life. Half-light. Thanks for nothing. Pain threshold. Dolores D. Dolores. I'll trust you, pain threshold. Incorrect. Dolores D. was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Amongst these, Mora Lintern. She was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores, stomach acid rises in the back of your throat and it hurts. You see a flash, silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair, and you don't know why. Another choice, perhaps? And an empire. Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one. What? A strange sensation of loss when she left the earth. The dust and the quiz and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this. Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores D. Who is the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores D. I'm confused. My Inland Empire sense keeps telling me to stop, but my other senses told me to keep trying. Did my other sensations help me at all? So encyclopedia is a dumb bitch. Dolores D. Dolores. Why did my pain threshold tell me Dolores? Sola? Incorrect. Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices. Encourages people to excel in their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history. She's often called an anti-innocence. Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist, who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn of the century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again? The Pernicarnison? Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him pious. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It said that he invented God, an equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way of measuring love. As the first innocent, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It's presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Who is the strongest innocent? Easy, everyone knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody. Sure, encyclopedia. An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history. Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident, or in the known world in general, at least the parts that mattered. Yes, so interesting, but I thought you'd give me the answer to the questions. I can do better. Okay, so commonly an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for the deeds are inevitable. Does this help? No. Damn. Dolores. He already said Dolores. I feel like if I take another hit, I've only got a couple of drugs left to heal myself. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern... Oh, I think I understand. The pain threshold is telling me what not to guess. I'm probably going to take another morale hit here. Incorrect again. While she originated many modern institutions, launched many successful expeditions, and was even critical of the innocent system itself, and somehow keeps popping up in your mind, she is not considered the strongest. Oh, nope, guess not. Even though the words most associated with her rule are l'amour, la passion, la autodiscipline, love, compassion, self-control, which could be seen as facets of strength. Would you like to try again? Vesper Messina? Incorrect. Vesper Messina is not a person, but a defunct state in the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating the republics of Vesper and Messina. Care to try again? Franco Negro? Correct. Named the innocence of militarism. He codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the inter-isolary real as a global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation. Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and the bourgeoisie by building a unified society, in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Who was the false innocence? Got it under control, no problem. Settle on this one. It's widespread historical information. Can I help me, Encyclopedia? Yes, there exists a group called the Founding Party, known as the Holy Party during the time of the Pericardination. This, the world's oldest international organization, spends its time in search of either the reemergence of the innocents or new members. Sigh heavily, out loud. Give you yep? What's yep? Hold on, I'm looking what the fuck yep is. A yep yep? Really? People yep. Pepe yep. O2 yep. Yep cock. What? All of these are yep. What's yep? Frank, check FFZ. Emotes. Public library. Yep. What is cock? Is that another emote, or are you guys just saying cock? Is the LCS on? Can I just watch that all day and like stream it? I would have to take one of my emotes off Twitch chat. I think we take off Surprise Pikachu, no? Do we have 2 people guns? We have Monka gun. But we don't need Monka if we've got Peepo gun. But Peepo gun's over here. Well, I would need to remove one of these. I think we removed... Do we kill that one? Peepo S? There's probably a Peepo S on this website, right?
Let them lament my name.
Hash alley, hash alley, hash alley.
Yeah, there's a Peepo S here. So I could add it here. And then I could remove Peepo S here. And then we go back and we add... Yep. Why? Is this... Why cock? Is cock an emote, or are you guys just saying the word cock? It's just the word. You guys are just saying cock. There seems to be a mix-up of the sources. It's not my fault. At least it clearly wasn't Dolores D. She wouldn't be false. She's beautiful. So apparently my pain threshold is in love with Dolores D for some reason. And I'm pretty sure that's why my pain threshold told me to get the book. Right? What was the question? Who is the false innocence? I'll go Stepan the Despicable. Incorrect. Stepan the Despicable, region of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedretic conquest. Instead of the despotic Inno Pasternak. Would you like to try again? Arno Pasternak. Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences. Some assumed to have innocent qualities, Some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen. The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stefan the Despicable of Kedra. Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one. Question 4. Who is the greatest innocence? The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind. Encyclopedia says, I've got it. Honest. Okay, you sure this time? I'll bite. Hint me. Of course, this is my thing. The reason I exist in this world. The correct answer is Franco Negro. You absolutely certain of this? Zero doubts. Pretty sure it's going to be Dolores D. Correct. Fuck you, Encyclopedia. The Mesk might see Franco Negro as a father of nations, but of this century there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores D has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence. A most radical change to the whole fabric of the world. Everything from intersolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful. Congratulations on finishing the test. The results on your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get a D. Not particularly remarkable, but technically a passing grade. Not that anyone really expected better. Inland Empire. You would have done better if you just left Dolores D for the end. Dial the Dolores D down a bit. Damn you, you arrogant book. The lieutenant is jolted awake by your furious cursing. What's going on with you? Thinks it's so smart, goddamn. Okay. Lieutenant stares at you, his visage unflinching. Put the book away. Leave. Yeah. Why is yep a thing? Why are you guys just spamming yep in the Discord? What is it with you people? Instant photos of tattoos. Photo of tattoos. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso of the hangman, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time the lines intersect, a whole shawl is formed in their crossing. Hundreds of fading asterisks riddle his skin. Their concentration is highest around his heart. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night sky, but something's not right. Who are you? Gone. Who are you? Gone. Who are you? Who am I talking to right now? What's the meaning of this tattoo? For you to discover, you've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you. Put the photo away. How interesting that I seem to be in the company of someone who knows about history. The bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Sir, what books are these? Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. She needs her eyes. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up like opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no. She knows about history. She could help.
Welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. My name is Plaisance.
Plaisance. The clerk extends a greeting.
And please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space.
Before I go on, you seem to be really well off enough. Can you give me some money? I feel there won't be an opportune moment to ask later.
Sir, don't be ridiculous. I certainly will not give you money. I would be doing you a grave psychic disfavour. One has to earn one's success, even if one is a police officer. Handouts are nothing but manipulation. All they do is make you dependent.
Certainly there are good things to be said about dependence. It would forge ties between us working people. Good practice for fighting our common enemy.
Now, hey there! Sounds like someone isn't taking responsibility for the energy they bring into this space. Fighting? Enemy? My philosophy is everyone just getting along.
You're the owner of this store?
The proudest owner of our little shop of culture.
Her voice is high-pitched, as if to give more penetration. I was told that there is a huge fridge in the building's cellar. Could you lead me there? A fridge? She fidgets with her pendant. No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Are you interested in books? She nods at the bookshelves. Drama. For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar. What if I want to buy a book? Then why are you talking to me? Everything is on the shelves to browse. Don't you feel compelled to buy anything? She fidgets with her pendant, then waves her bony fingers directly at you. See those shelves there? Go, be drawn. So what type of books do you have? Everything is on the shelves. Take a look yourself. She nudges her glasses. The shelves compel you, don't they? Alright, I'll take a look then. She smiles and nods, seemingly relieved. Who's the little girl standing outside? Annette. Yes, my daughter. I hope she wasn't slacking off again with her nose in science fiction. Tell me, was she at her post, doing her job like a proper girl? Yes, of course. Wonderful. Did you talk to her? Yes. Great. On a scale of 1 to 10, how compelled were you to buy books after talking to her? I'm not going to grade a human being. I don't do that. Come now. It's not personal. It's about proper sales practices and market research. She crosses her arms. I expect an answer. 10. My precious. Her dedication brings joy to my heart. She's immensely satisfied with the answer. If you have children, I hope they turn out as great as my yeah. I'm here to dismantle the free market and abolish child labor. She rolls her eyes. You must be kidding. There's nothing like that happening. Depends. How much do you pay the child? Good sir, what does a young child do with money anyway? No, I save it for her, as a fund. She's securing her financial future out there. Such criminal behavior would not happen in more developed countries. In some more developed countries, this sort of thing is 2 felonies, child labor and slavery. Those countries will realize they've raised a lazy and spoiled generation. Her tone is decisive, not at all angry at the insinuation. Are we done with the jokes now? Yes, we've had quite enough fun here, right? Lieutenant taps his fur. The way you're handling her strikes me as wrong. Mind your own business, sir. Her posture becomes very rigid. In our society, people don't get to tell each other how to raise their children. It's none of yours or anyone's business. Denial is the way she copes with criticism. Okay, let's change the subject. Farewell for now, book peddler. Closed curtains. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
What did I get here? I got a thought.
Let them lament my name.
Oh, I became a socialist. Oh, breakthrough imminent. Okay. Shopkeeper, what's behind The curtains. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books, she fiddles with her pendant. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Examine the cage-like trinket. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straws. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Encyclopedia. From the looks of it, this is a traditional Seminoles ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. And who are the Seminoles? We already know that! We talked to the super Seminoles racist dude earlier. Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminine Isles down south. Yes, we know that. Aside from cloaking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at the moment. The curtains remain shut before you. Pull them open! Just you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the sharp owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you, it's off limit for customers. Her hand is closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. Perception. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't you just buy books like normal people? I've heard there's a fridge there that I need. Everyone suddenly needs something from there. She waves her hands angrily. Leave the curtains be. It's what it wants. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go in there. I can't allow that. You only make things worse and unleash the powers. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. You do? She grabs her pen again, visibly shaken. My God, you had more reason not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. No, she raises her hand to try and stop you. Please, just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk about this before you decide to do anything extreme. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. Rip them apart, this time for real. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary-looking Seminoles wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen. I warned you. You are unleashing forces beyond your understanding. Thought complete. Mazovian socioeconomics. 0.000% of communism has been built. Evil child-murdering billionaires still rule the world with a shit-eating grin. All he has managed to do is make himself sad. He is starting to suspect Krasmazov fucked him over personally with this social economic theory. It has, however, made him a very, very smart boy with something like a university degree in truth. Instead of building communism, he now builds a precise model of this grotesque, duplicitous world.
Let them lament my name.
OWO.
-1 visual calculus. -1 authority. But left-wing dialogue options give 4 experience. Huh. Becoming a socialist seems to have downgraded me. I actually like my visual calculus, though. That one was useful. Shit. I don't have any points to level it up. God damn it. Wait, that one's not great. I don't like that. That's it. We're getting in here. Bitch. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Looks like Guillaume Le Million. That hair poster. Boarded door. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminoles trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Knock on it. Only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed out, dark echo. Break down the door. I think that was fail. challenging failure. Oh, shoot. Whose moronic idea was it to just run through the door? Don't you know things like that hurt? Oh, God. Try to breathe normally. This really wasn't the best idea, was it? I deserve this. My body deserves to suffer from being this weak and disappointing. Are you alright? The lieutenant subs closer, his eyes sauced and worried. This looks pretty intense and painful, I must admit. What's going on there? An upset, high-pitched voice calls from the bookstore. Are you really trying to break down the back door? I warn you, don't tempt the spirits, officer. You can hear a frightened step backwards. Don't tempt the spirits, you'll damage the holy words on the door. It barely looks like you've done any damage to the door, however. It's still locked and closed, causing Doris's little charms and trinkets. Alright, you know what? It's time to use the wire cutters on her face until she opens the fucking door.
You've hurt yourself now. I told you not to mess around back there. What are you even trying to accomplish, you fool?
You're the fool. I'm trying to find a way to the fridge downstairs. It's an urgent police matter. Yeah. You're only making things worse. Stop it. Be compelled to look at books. She fiddles with your pendants. Go to them. Farewell for now. Isn't this guy supposed to leave me?
Yes?
Tell me about the case. What do you want to know? You say it's a mysterious case? The lieutenant considers your question a moment before answering, no, it's not a particularly mysterious case. Why not? The lieutenant shrugs. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. Okay, so this case probably isn't... So the case probably isn't mysterious, but could it be sexy? No, let's go with... I was thinking something underworldly might be involved. You know, something supernatural. You can ensure nothing like that will happen. Do you know why not? Why not? Because it's not part of, he makes a precise hand gesture, reality. The gesture resembles an orchestra conductor bringing the choir to a fire stop. So desperately mundane, you need to funk this case up. There's something Lieutenant isn't seeing. The universe isn't too irrational, too morally complex. You should convince him. Convince Kim there's a dark, sexy mystery twist in the case. Only banal things strike you. At the core, you're a very banal person with a very small soul. Oh, fuck. I suck so hard at convincing him that my morale collapsed. Really? You seem to be following me. Excuse me? Beat it. You're cramping my style. Frankly, detective, you're in a deranged state. I can't let you proceed without close supervision. In fact, under normal circumstances, I'd be duty-bound to report you. Take it as a token of good faith between our precincts, I haven't done so. The RCM, or the Reventral Citizens Militia, it's a police force you and him are part of. A self-organized Peace Corps of the occupied city of Reventral. The RCM operates within a legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. Wouldn't it be embarrassing if you didn't know this? What if I need some me time? Some you time? The lieutenant considers this moment. This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself. Okay. Isn't this guy supposed to leave? Like, look how late it is. Get the fuck away. need some magnesium. +3 morale, +1 morale, +3 health. Yeah, we need magnesium. That way, if our morale dies, we don't game over. Let's take an autosave. Okay.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind?
Get to spare some change for a working stiff? Huh? Sudden financial duty snapped him out of his gaze. Oh no, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for unfinished work. Who's they? The bosses, man. Makes sense. First work, then pay. Makes sense. It sucks is what it does. That's all for now. Bye. Guess the only thing they do. Reception site. You see a set of tire tracks and the brush slush that covers the plaza mosaic. Why am I looking at this? Cop habit. You look at everything. This isn't case related, you think? Visual calculus. Reconstruct the movement. Check failure. God damn it. No, these tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away. What kind of vehicle drove through here? Hard to say. Your vision is blurred and you're having difficulty concentrating thanks to your relentless hangover. Shit.
Fuck this Kuno here!
Empathy. Figure out what's going on. And discuss the body with you. Where's the rest of his armor? Kuno doesn't give a shit about that armor. How come? Kuno's fuck Gim's got one big thing wrong with him. He's a fucking mutant. A mutant? Look at him, he points to the body. Fucking growth hormones and shit. He's a giant. The armor is too big for any man. He drills his temples with his fingers in some strange aggressive gesture. Kuno doesn't give a shit about that freak armor. Kuno threw that shit away. What do you mean by you threw it away? Kuno tried to get the helmet on. It was too big. He performs a kick off on the imaginary helmet. Kuno kicked that shit into the sea, rugby style. That shit means nothing to Kuno. He threw it into the sea? Yeah, that means nothing to Kuno, he repeats. Kuno doesn't give a shit about material shit. Kuno's a fucking monk. You wanna fucking someone about that armor? Go fuck that. The mustached union fuck. The jolly troubadour shit at the gates. What do you mean troubadour? Yeah, cock and boots. You know that jolly union cow fucker? Came around talking about cows or some shit. Came around pretending like he cares about cows. Yes, you met him at the gates. One with the boots and the jolly smile. You mean Mananya? Yeah, he's the one you want to talk to. He's fucking crazy about that armor shit. Coming here pretending like he likes cows, trying to catch a peep at Kuno's armor. Trauma. Curious, my liege. Why did Kuno feed you this information? Are you just telling me this out of the kindness of your heart, Kuno? Yeah, Kuno's doing charity today. Kuno Day. Kuno feels sorry for you two loser pigs. Kuno's doing pity now. Still seems suspicious. He may have it in for that guy. Or he may be paranoid. That is also a possibility, sire. The contusion's all over his body. Did you do that? Fuck are you talking about? What is this contusion shit? He grabs his head like it's suddenly hurting. He says you're stupid, Kuno. They want to make you stupid again. A contusion is a bruise. I'm talking about the marks or stones left on the corpse. Oh, did Kuno make your shit sniffing harder? Obstruction of shit sniffing? He lets go of his head, suddenly feeling better. This is Kuno's kingdom. Kuno fucking rules here. You hear the lieutenant hum. Is anyone suspicious around? I have no new options to talk to him. Can I talk to you? Kuno Essay?
Kuno,
come to snuff my shit out, I think.
Take one step closer.
Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in.
Just wanted to ask you some questions. Take another step closer.
I'm going away for a long, long time, Kuno. Going away for life.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
Child, converse with me. What are those strange words you use, girl?
I come from the woods, Kutta Vittu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I've seen.
Don't be traumatizing here! Get the fuck out of here!
Okay. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says whirling in rags. Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container. Just a trash container? There's no such thing. Your fingers start to itch just looking at that padlock. How do I get that lock open? We can try using the pry bar, the one you took from our Mado carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the whirling in rags. He probably has one. He might have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. Why is it only a 3% chance? Okay, Mr. Manager. How about you fuck the fuck off and give me the key?
Can I help you?
Is the trash container out back yours? Mine? No, it belongs to the whirling in rags. Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked? Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors too. They put the trash there and they don't pay for the garbage from here. Thought as much. Are you the only one with access to the trash container? Well, yes, us and the garbage disposal company. Roderick, it seems a bit callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you. I wonder what this feeling is. Prod at him and find out. Doesn't it seem callous to you, guarding even your leftovers from the poor? Callous, what are you, Krasmazov? Almost all the establishments in Reventral keep their trash locked. The Whirling in Rags is not special in that regard. Encyclopedia, Krasmazov Nam de Guerre was an economist and historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grod side of the Centennial Revolution, where he headed the 9-day government. Mazov is considered the father of scientific communism, Mazovian thought, or Mazovianism. Yum yum, tell me more. He killed himself. Maybe I am Krasmazov. What are we talking about? It's not about the trash container? No, wait. Whisper and point at the back of your head. What if I am Krasmazov? We should return to the case of your mistaken identity at a later time, officer. This is about the trash container. We need those keys. What for, Mazov? Are you planning to nationalize my trash container? Concerns the case. The lieutenant's voice is harsh and sudden. Please cooperate. He takes the keys from under the counter and hands them to you. Just bring them back once you're done, please. It's about that money I owe you. How much do I owe you? 100 real. Well, I have 30. Ugh. Open the padlock with a key. The well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should not be possible to simply raise the lid. Inland Empire. What is Inland Empire? What is that? What does that mean? Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. What is that? What is Inland Empire? What sense is that? Like, what is it supposed to be? It's a crazy hobo stat? It's your guts? Don't? Maybe you shouldn't. What's this? Just a feeling, a warning from some part of you. Open the lid. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. Or just in time, the lieutenant peers in. This hasn't been emptied for over a week. Look under the box of carton. You see milk, an egg rest with a broken egg in it, some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar. You've done this before. The movements recorded in your elbows, methodology of your figures. You're used to this. Used to what? Dumpster diving? No, searching for evidence in the trash. Dig further. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soliel cereal. There is plastic pasta packages below and turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however. Pick at the rags. Amongst the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers. Grab them. As legs of side-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air. The victim's clothes? The lieutenant smells them. Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay. The lieutenant produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pocket. Drop them in here, officer. Bag the trousers. Kim quickly searches the jeans. Guitar-marked blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or emptied? He wore them with a belt, too. A wide belt. The loops appear stretched, but he looks into the container. The belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here. Reach for it. A drab long-sleeve shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus. Bag the shirt. This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. It's a kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. He nods to himself. Anything more? Perception. Sight. Success. The yes of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug then catches your eyes. But other than that, a thrown-out towel, a mug, that's it. Alright. We should go to Garta again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning his yard, or that one. He nods towards the red-haired boy behind him. I'd advise against confronting that force. Yeah, we need to ask the kids who put them here. The fuck's he on about, kids? The one behind the fence yells. You hear that, Kuno? He thinks you're an infant or something. See? You think someone from the whirling might have been involved, maybe? Not really. All I know is the victim's clothes are in the trash, the lid was locked, and the establishment has a key. It's just a small loose thread. Okay. Search the food waste. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy in your hands, apple, potato peels mostly, identified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey, what's this? What? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something. Something larger.
My name.
A clipboard. A small plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes written in a man's handwriting. Officer, is that your paperwork? No, it can't be. Yes, it is. Look, he points it. The plastic has the RCM certificate on it. You've even got an autopsy for it. A miserable-looking slip of paper sticks to the board. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? There's a foreboding quality on it. Maybe I needed to lose it for the great bloodletting to begin. I think I didn't want to be a cop anymore, so I threw it away. Well, he doesn't know what to say. Lucky we found it. You should just take stock of what remains, just to be sure some has not made it into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, organized crime and the like. There might have been police secrets in your notes. Okay, I'll do that. It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. He peers into the trash, where soggy cartons and rags stink uninvitingly. Now tell me what your eagle's eyes see, or are we finished? The mug. I'm getting that mug, too. You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the yellow man frolicking in saffron. An antique? Only in social sensibility. Take the mug. Why? Damaged ledger. It's a ledger you found in the trash. Pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board. barely held together by a metal clip. The side display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. Anything else? It's a piece of toilet paper. Or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper, desperately clinging to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Conceptualization. Thank you, Water Lodge Ledger, for spelling it out for us. Inspect the toilet paper. It's just toilet paper, sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. Maybe it's kitchen issue. If you want it to be kitchen issue, then it can be kitchen issue. It's not, though. It's toilet paper. Leave it there, it's cool. Cool toilet paper. I mean, kitchen issue. Okay, let's take it off. Oh shit, I gained more experience for taking it off and leaving it on. Haha. They didn't think I would do that, did they, Twitch chat? Outplayed. Inspect the clip. An aluminum block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip. Run your fingers across the aluminum. The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before. Perception. Looks like an official mark, made to be low visibility outside the right circumstances. Hey, Lieutenant, what's this? What? He's lost in his own notes. It takes a moment for him to see it. That thing? It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property. Interesting. What kind of information? It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine is my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue. Maybe yours will have how many cases you've solved. How can I read it? Any capable of light with the right wavelengths will do it. Like, for example, all RCM vehicles have headlights designed to read halogen watermarks. Mine too. That means you can read the watermark if you just turn the lights on. That's all, thank you. Browse the white pages. They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The water itself is checkered with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that explains case files commit to paper. The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible. What is in there? What are they about? Work, strife, poverty. The Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to the missing pages and an odd naming convention, but there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You've attempted 2 cases a week on average. What do you mean? Is that all? Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant? Huh? He raises his notes from his notes. 2 complex cases and to undertake is a lot. Yes, you really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes. 2 cases a week appears to have been my load, Lieutenant. I'm not sure I completed them, though. 2? He raises both eyebrows. That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you're making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. Sure, I made plenty of mistakes. That's okay, he nods, then turns back to his own case files. We all make mistakes. There's a mention of a naming convention here? Yes. It appears you employ, shall we say, robust literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins, yet still more tellingly, most are accompanied by name. A title, one might even say, one that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples. Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too. Yes, old caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case. Another appears to be lighthearted. The Guys on a Couch in an Unexpected Location. The Murder at the Hookah Parlor. And even the rare article-free Collapsing Tenement. Murder features prominently throughout. It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Later, once you're done inspecting them up close. Kim, my cases appear to employ some kind of naming convention. You mean the alphanumeric officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? No, I mean a non-numeric one, with titles. Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. In our defense, almost everyone in the RCM does. Why is that? It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, where the organization had a little idea on how to do things. It persists in an unofficial capacity. Officers use these titles to revert to their work amongst themselves. I seem to have a case named the Square Bullet Hole Murders. Again, in your defense, I seem to have one with, he peeks into his notes, the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. His death was real. Still, I named it that, to amuse myself. He smiles. I pray the loved ones never find out. What happened to him? Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident. That's it? The notebook is annual. It says 51 on what remains of its cover, a molten strap of cardboard. Everything prior to this must have belonged to a previous volume. In short, there was more. Count the pages. I often open an official case. Is there room? There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into a subtask to accomplish. Once all the tasks are accomplished, the case is complete. Commit to paper, using the pen Lena gave you. The tasks you've completed flow out of the kind green ape pen in a brash freehand similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple, a language developed from mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect victim's body. Get body down. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place. Cross out the ones you've already finished. Yay! A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you. And you. You're a swashbuckler with that pen, Harry. And it feels good. Feels like completion. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the Citizens Militia. Now all that remains is to name the case. Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case? No, actually. Any idea? The Furies are at home in the mirror. The setting sun. Shit on a stick. It's got the Hanged Man. Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good. Strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. Task complete. Read your ledger and name the case. He flips the pages of the notebook. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sort this out. I'm done inspecting these. Can I read the case files now? Kim explained the system, and we finished the autopsy. Browse the case files again. Okay. Browse the yellow pages. In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper. Some neon green, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then, rip from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form. What types of forms are there? 3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. Field autopsy. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in cover. You've seen the parameters of deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of sexual organs, or internal organs. Station call. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing. All in print, so small it could be considered downright cute. Misconduct fine. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases are all for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread over the rest of the fields, but they appear pleasantly vague. Closed forms. Yes, all that remains now is to fill out these forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies for dead guys. Smell the ledger. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. Now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with a citrus zest of toilet cleaner. You know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls, probably called Fermi Discreet or Axel or something. At some point in its journey, Ledger has seen the inside of a public toilet. What toilet would that be? Oh. Remember when I said the smell of the upstairs bathroom was so rank that it should have a poet describe it? Is sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner, a line this poet might have said. Why, yes it is. Amongst many other things, the cleaning tablet is used by the whirling in our eggs. Perhaps that's where the ledger was dropped in the toilet, by you. Look at the clipboard. It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters RCM. Shake the ledger. Something rattles inside, ever so slightly. Is there a hidden compartment? And something small inside? Light, made of paper and cardboard? Or dried flowers, perhaps? Permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment is made for permeable material that would get damaged if something happened to it. Peek inside. The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but is not see-through. You cannot see to a sensor. How do I open it? With your hand, you four side pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. Open the hidden compartment. Success! The two sides of the board appear slightly misaligned, like a drawer that's come off the sides. If you bend the plastic at your knees slowly, the slide snaps back into place. It should be possible to just, slide the drawer open. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now open. 2 ticket stubs and a handmade postcard. Pick up the ticket stubs. 2 octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles towards each other in a colored pencil drawings. The tickets permit access to a zoo in Reventral East. The aquarium costs extra. These let you go there too. Pick up the card. Fucking kill yourself, you asshole. What? The words just cross your mind somehow. Who are they for? Who do you think? Morbid. Pick up the card. Proceed. Thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick it up. You see violet flowers, floral patterns, patches of glue. Smell it. It smells of chewing gum, apricot flavored. A touch of cinnamon to the end of summer. You think the label says Tutti Frutti. Open it. Familiar handwriting lines the inside of the card. Looped round letters in a woman's hand. A young woman in her 20s. There's care, effort, and a smile, you think. Oh, that is not something you can read from someone's handwriting. Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter so that you can read it when you wake up. Maybe it will make you happy. Throw it away, please. My volition told me that. Huh. Why would my volition tell me that? But it will make me happy. A merciful wind blows in from the Bay of Reventral, dusting the ground at your feet and raising new papers far away. You feel the card slipping into it. What was that? Shivers. Friction covers your entire body. A feeling of cold, a persistent chill. Hold on to it. Read the card. Your hands shake holding on to it. Every morning when I step out and you're asleep behind me, it says, I find a little piece of sadness in me. I carry it in my chest on Voyager Road. Every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step on the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. Bow collector? I know it will be like this until late afternoon when I get off the 49 and walk back to you. Keep reading. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. I can't believe I met you. I can't believe the happiness I feel with you. You have a vast, vast soul, and I will always, always, always keep coming back to it. Keep reading. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. Everything around you gets dark. Small white dots appear. Conceptualization. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector. a street called distancing. You feel the ledger slip from your hands, fall sideways. Did I die?
There is nothing. Again.
Did I die?
Nothing sad, brother. No treachery, just blackout. Well, almost nothing. There is the ground below you, that's still there. And the small light that's on, fluttering somewhere in the basal ganglia. That's me. Blue eyes. That's me.
Who is that?
Who is what?
He speaks of the sickening longing, the unwell emotion. Even in the darkness, he's grasping for it, still trying to hold on to the great sorrow slipping in the water. Slimy.
Yeah.
Here in the paleomammalian cortex, we call it the shadow, because it's always there.
Tell him.
Ah, yes, and in the olfactory system, they call it the apricot chewing gum scented one. It's unhealthy of them to linger on it so, but as they say, what do you do?
It smelled so nice.
It didn't smell nice. It smelled like betrayal.
So my name appears to be
Your
Harry?
name is fuck all.
It certainly ain't Harry.
And what is it?
Your name is passed out on the ground, dragged around by one of the other evil apes. They're taking you somewhere.
Something about the bow collector. Bow collector?
Yeah, man. What was that about?
It's a Voyager Road.
There is no Voyager Road. There are no roads, no houses, no lights in the windows. It's all on pause.
Is that the X something?
Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing.
No, it was beautiful.
Beautiful. Believe me, stupid ape, its lack of beauty was not the problem.
Okay, enough. Just lie there, motionless.
You think they would let you? Until you disintegrate into biomolecules? No. Someone is breathing on your face now, inspecting your pupils, stupid idiot.
What is that? It's cold.
Yes, they're pouring something on you, something in you, and
It's delicious. Where am I? Corpus Kanema. The unholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsurugi's motor carriage. Seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin. Drink water. The lieutenant is extending a small canister from your mouth. Drink. The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself. As it pours down your parched throat, the pounding in your head recedes, the darkness parts. Drink, he tilts the canister. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the human body is not made to survive on alcohol alone? You need a secondary form of hydration. Drink. With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water. Some of it spills on the driver's seat. The lieutenant pays no heed to it. What happened? I came in contact with the burnt-out remains of my past, Lieutenant. That does happen sometimes. He hands you the remains of your ledger. He replies with such understanding as if it's the burnt-out remains of the past were an occupational hazard. Athlete's foot for cops. You dropped this. Are you okay to proceed? Let's solve this case. Good. Ledger of failure and hatred. The bow collector. Sparks fall like snow from the bow collector of streetcar number 42. Slowly down the slope from Voyager Road and then east on B206, across the river to where there are no closed factories or ruins. To study at the academy, electrical cables run overhead and the bow collector draws across them like a musical instrument. A flash. She's standing at the rear window, holding onto the rail in a spring coat, waving at you. White morning. You see yourself from above. You're passed out on the blue tiles of the hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object, letting out its sweet smell, like a lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers that feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Why do I get minus authority for having the clipboard? I get -2 authority? I'm at -2 authority. I basically will never do anything with that. What is that plus? Am I allowed to put points into them? I feel like I should have more drama. Okay, I feel like I'm just loading up more and more in quests and I'm not getting anywhere. The points you have in your basic stats determine how many skill points you can add to that. Should I use my skill points to learn more thoughts? Because at this point... I'm gonna do the bow collector. We're gonna learn about my past.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
Can I help you?
So we're handing him his key back and saying we found the clothes. It's one of your staff have put them there. Sylvia had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my staff. None of us would tamper with a crime scene. Maybe you don't remember putting them there. Maybe you're sleepwalking, or in a fugue state. He grimaces. I think fugue states are more your forte, officer. What is the keys to the trash container? Like trash collection service? CS Municipal. I don't see why they would put anything in the trash, though. Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. They will have to be one of those little threads that solves itself down the road. Thanks. Let's talk about something else. I was wondering if we could come to some sort of arrangement for tonight. Does that arrangement include you paying me what you already agreed you owe me? Kim is about to say something. Let him. He adjusts his glasses. I understand your predicament as a manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business. Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking and... He stops mid-sentence. I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Hold on. I still have my key, you know. Good luck trying to use it. He taps his foot against a metal box installed in the back of the counter. Draconian measures. All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key before your guest key will open the lock. This conversation isn't going anywhere, is it? Not until you bring me the money. Okay, he turns to you with every sigh. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here. Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. The theme of the volleyball machine is a standard royalist theme. Used on everything from pinball cabinets to full-flavored cigarettes. What are its hallmarks? Clinging to a picture book version of the past century, waiting for the king to come back and cast out all the profiteers and homosexuals. Basically, imagine a yellow plastic crown with a liquor brand emblazoned on it. The idea of a king in a century gone is pretty fascinating. The sentiment is called anticennial nostalgia, pining for a time before the turn of the century. It's common even now, after 50 years. Neato. I have something here we could sell. Look at the back and the suspect transport enclosure. Transport enclosure? Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stacked against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these 4 a little while back. We could take them to the pawn shop down by Mentaz Canal. What are those things? They're spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to a stop, he makes a spinning motion with his hands. The cabs keep on spinning. There's no real use for them. It's just vanity. What do you mean you confiscated them? A couple weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son, and high. So you took his spinners? Mm-hmm, he nods. I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. Isn't that corruption? I don't know. Is it? The lieutenant looks back stone-faced. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for a conviction. You never asked for them back. Thanks. I appreciate your help. Kim, how do I turn on the headlights? Blah, blah, blah. He does a bunch of stuff. think the pawn shop was like down here. No, that's a book. Was it further down? I think it was over here. Was that it? Is this it? Or is this just a house? Welcome to the pawn shop. Okay. Oh, okay, right there.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop.
Man at the counter turns to you
What
slowly.
can I do for you?
He asks. Empathy, success. His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with this projector, just watching the movements of life across the walls of the shop. Now that the NRCM is here, tell me, have you had any trouble lately?
I haven't really had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about the inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Quite the collection. I may have something to add to it.
It keeps me entertained.
The attention is drawn once more to the play of light and shadow on the walls behind you. He's well composed, but underneath it you sense psychedelic processes bubbling, some kind of drug maybe? Is Roy high? And if yes, what on? Failure. Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it. And many other things besides, but you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. It's something I'd like to sell. Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps. Lieutenant steps in and hands him the spinners. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant and inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent in the dancing light of the pawn shop. He marvels at the cobalt shimmer and nods. Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jump on Mesk Banger? No matter. I'll give you 200 real. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you, the lieutenant explains as the pawnbroker opens the register and counts the cash. Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Thank you. He takes the cash, then turns to you. Here's the 100 real you need for a bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. The rest is to compensate him for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Both the lieutenant and the pawnbroker turn to you. I don't have anything to sell at the moment. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave. Dude's creepy. As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears, a street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you. There she is, Reventral West. There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice. Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no hundreds of micro-performations. Look at this shimmering street grid. The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Reventral are all recognizable. They shimmer in Kanema's headlights. Wait, look around you. You catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle. In the distance sounds two men engaged in a drunken argument, followed by the closing of some distant window. Ah, matinees at night, he smells the air. Where are we on this? Points to the hologen map. Let me see. He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it. Right here, he says, his fingers near the top of the map, on a segment of coast jutting out to the great ocean. Seems nice. No, it does not, the lieutenant says with optimism. Look at the perforations. There are many of them, and they're divided into 3 separate rows. Tally up the separate rows. The first row is in 18 dots. Not bad. Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet. What about the next one? The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some. Count them individually. You count 216 perforations. Considering that nice, large number, a wave of pride washes over you. They can't say why precisely. What about the last row? The last row is 3 perforations. 3. That's it? That's it. Hey Kim, what do all these holes mean? These are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They're statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look. Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers often do. It's meant. The first row represents your years of service. 18 years? Okay. Not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? I feel like I just went around apologizing all the time. Maybe you were a diplomat or in PR? Doesn't matter, I suppose. Let's move on, shall we? The next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, wow, more than 200. Is that a lot? It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of ORCM officers. Ah, used to be good. Right. Those are your confirmed kills. You get precisely 3 perforations there. I guess I'm a killer. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, who's in Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident. It's obvious that Lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers. But it seems as though you are, at least, were one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim? Yes, he says, declining to elaborate. I do handle the strain. Everyone has their own method of coping, some more effective or self-destructive than others. He gives you a meaningful look. Personally, I find it helps to keep a few hobbies. Perhaps we should find a hobby. Why not gardening? You already got the yellow gloves. Thanks for this. Okay, let's go. I feel like you can either choose the game to be depressing or hopeful, in a way.
Can I help you?
I have your money. Here's the 200 real. Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance, starting tomorrow. He takes out his keychain and fiddles with the mechanism beyond the counter. The electric lock to your room has been disabled till 21 tomorrow. New task. Find money for rent and pay guard. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night. He opens his wallet. I'll take a room too. Of course. He takes some money and hands him a key ring. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? Nope.
Yes?
So when does Kim go away? I'm kind of like trying to internalize all the like memories about my past life. Well, because once he goes to sleep, can I then go remove the boots from the body? Yeah, I want the boots. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
All right, let's go. Yeah, for those, there's so much text in this game. I don't think people realize. I haven't played a game with this much dialogue, options, writing in... Like, I literally can't even remember the last time, actually. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to a traffic hum.
Now
Then,
we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here, our rights, our jurisdiction, basically.
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Electrochemistry. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. How did you get so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the hash. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy. Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Yet were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit, below it all. I'm not gonna smoke. Yes, he pulls on the cigarette. It's been a long and eventful day. How do you think today went? Well, we inspected the victim's body, so that's good. It was not easy, approachable in that state, but we did it. It's our initial inspection was very thorough, and we have solid leads to follow up on. In addition, we got that body down from the tree, and we performed a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. I still feel like we're missing something, and there's still a lot of work to do at the crime scene, too. Now, as for interviews, my list of people to talk to in Martinez, he takes a brief drag and looks at the city. And so I'm Forte, and like most cops, I understand how important communication is in our line of work. Very important indeed. While we conducted an interview with Everett Clare, he wasn't particularly forthcoming with useful information, however. He's not saying much on the matter, because he thinks you could still have gotten more out of Everett. I'm sure I can get him to tell us more. Claire also helped you, how should I say, remember your name? That's a relief. Big relief. It's a serviceable name too. Moving on. We talked to Joyce Messier. We didn't get any information from her, he frowns. I feel like Joyce knows how dangerous the situation really is. We have to get her to talk to us. If Kim is emphasizing something this much, it must be really important. Above all though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running? You run a lot. Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? I don't know why I do the things I do, Lieutenant. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger on his cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man of your age, and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles, suddenly. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. It goes with the orange. So what are my powers exactly? The RCM. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers The power officers of the Reventual Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. Wouldn't that be an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens can always request records from their local station. Officers of RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. He frowns. It undermines trust in the RCM. 1,000. Why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Reventual. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. Oh, wait, how can you be sure the arrestee will show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. I see. And if someone arrests? As you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we're permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict. We arrest and send them to the coalition government courts. In Curon and La Delta, the prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. He taps on his coat pocket, where he keeps his notes. Wait, so if I kill someone while on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. Yeah, lethal force. In those cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. And who makes all these rules? The coalition government and the Moralintern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. His gaze is absently fixed on a window below that just went dark. Or, perhaps, it is better to say we were allowed to form. It is a point of contention whether the citizens of Reventual or the coalition government founded the RCM. Let's say it was a coalition government. It's probably more honest, yes. Either way, the Moralintern leases us the right to keep the peace in the city, and they will take it away if we misuse it. Or if they think you do. The Moralintern, what is that? The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. He pulls on a cigarette. You know who they are. They run this place after the revolution failed. If I didn't know, how would you describe them? They're a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most international government organizations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project sent forth by her innocence Dolores Dye 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores Day. What is their symbol? It's just in question. It's blue, forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Something kind and usual. Something almost self-explanatory. Something like the dark blue cirrus color of that early night sky above. Who is Dolores Day? A historic figure, the author of the modern age, he thinks. You will have to look somewhere else for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. What do you think of them? The Moralintern are a fact. I try not to have an opinion on facts until they change. And he looks at the city below. It doesn't look like that will happen. Or it doesn't look like that's about to happen. I have an opinion on the Moralintern. Do you? The lieutenant arches his brow, then pulls on a cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his figures. Mutters silently. Immigrants, liberal kips, fucking men are turning into women. We are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeoisie organization, protecting bourgeoisie rights. No, we are stooges of the world's biggest bourgeoisie organization, protecting the people of Revengol. That's the hand we were dealt. Without the MI, we would be common vigilantes. Vigilantes does sound bad. He nods. Sadly, it is what we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, at least, especially the Union. Vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. He looks at the roundabout. Say nothing. Just look into the night. The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly, like luminous clouds. They pass on his lenses. The lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground below. Kitsurugi's glasses light up as he looks to the sky, 2 glowing circles. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, "They really don't like us here." And the mouth on that kid, Kuno, it's different inland, in Jamrock and on the JRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks, the jurisdictions of our 2 precincts, and in Jamrock and the GRIH. He looks at the dark silhouettes of the equestrian monument cutting into the night sky and says, "We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are..." He shakes his head. "But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Our system works. If they didn't, the city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation here. At least do some good." "Me too," he says quietly, "but I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes." He is very tired, but the dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older. "Thank you for this." "Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go." He pulls out the stub of his cigarette and looks to the door. "See you in the morning." "Yeah, bye-bye." Not about to go do anything suspicious, just normal stuff over here. Just normal stuff. Normal things to check. Just gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Let's do a quick save. Just normal stuff. Kiddo, get the fuck out of here. I get his boots off. Gotta remove the dead man boots again. The body's reluctant to let go of the boots, as they were its last bit of dignity. Whoa, Kuno's little sneak pig's back for the booty. Yeah, fuck it to pieces for us, liar cop. Pull on the right boot. It's not completely useless. You have the real bit more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. Pull on the left boot. Feels like the leg is going to come off with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or 2. Just relax. This is easy. This is happening. Try to twist the boots off one by one. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh. Look, he's skinning the fucker up good. Puko style. Hell, keep at it, kid. Take stock of the damage. The legs look like they've been clawed at by wild animals. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly. Yes, I assume it needs to be washed before. The steak is incredible. The whirling of a kitchen? Tell me something, dead man. The hanged man. So the dead man talks to me. Bit weird. Who was he? I feel like if I rolled better on that option, I actually would have known who he was. Did I know the guy? Wait, did I know the guy? How do I get in the kitchen? Let me in the kitchen, asshole.
Can I help you?
There's a mysterious blue door. Oh yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing mysterious about it. It's just a door. Do you know what's behind it? No. I don't have a key. And I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. It's not like I've been wondering about it for 10 years. It's just the fritter warehouse, probably. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of old junk and dust. Junk and dust. He runs his finger across the counter to check for dirt. He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolutely not convincing. I think you'd like to know what's back there. Fine, okay, a little, he shrugs. But my job doesn't leave me time for wondering about one locked door in one of the cafeterias I manage. So I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though, after the animals, and I haven't found a key. So good luck with that. Time to go sleep in my comfy bed. The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. But I want to sleep. Obviously, you're in bed with your eyes closed, but it's not happening. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Check the pillow. Its synthetic filling has separated into hard lumps. The pillowcase smells oddly. It smells of alcohol and sweat and grease. Check the blanket. Barely covers your toes, stretching over your soft belly. This is your body here, intimate and warm, breathing. A bit tense in the muscles, relax. Roll to the other side. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases still litter in your mind. Part of you is trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with... What was it the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. No more thoughts. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you, until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Cool. Uh-huh. Well, that's abnormal.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember nothing.
Do you remember your wife's hand on your face?
I don't know. You said who?
Do you remember the warmth of her thighs, between her legs and in her mouth?
Okay. So what is this? Tell me what this is. I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This will be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
Was I left or did I leave? I think I left.
Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. While you just stood there, with one hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick. watching it go. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I don't want to come back.
They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone and never coming back. All of it. You failed. You failed me.
Isn't he the worst day? I failed my worst day? Shit. I don't think you can fail any worse than that.
You failed Elysium.
What's Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty bad.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
Do I have to say I can come back from this?
No, Harry. You'll be
stinky boy.
Okay.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
I'm trying to solve the case.
You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
Is it another type of hangover?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Yeesh. Apparently, my character ain't doing so hot. I haven't seen. Good going, buddy. I just had the most beautiful dream. Uplifting. Rejuvenating. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last night. What the hell is going on with me? You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think. It is worrying, isn't it? Can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. No, that's not it. Really, I feel super good. That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more volition. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Wait, what is speed? Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It keeps you propped up all day despite... Kept you propped up all day yesterday despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? It's power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're young again and ready to detect, going out against the world. I need to get more of it then. Detecting is my life. Of course, Martin needed speed central. You just gotta poke around, follow your nose. You and Speed will be happy again. You make her come home. This time it will be different. Why is there a broken window? Shards face outward. Whoever broke that window came from the inside. Did I break it with my own hands? Fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none of it is recent. Who did this then? More like a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after impact. It's just the size of the impact. It's too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy and larger than your fist. The shoe you found on the balcony fits a hole almost as well as your foot. It would have been heavy enough if thrown with force. Congratulations, you smashed the window with your own shoe. What a stupid thing to do. Pretty much, but hey, at least you found your shoe. Not that it will keep you warm at night. Brr. That all I got? Okay. Ugh. Can we watch the LCS? Oh, fuck. They just finished a game, so it'll be like 20 minutes till the next one. I like the game? Yeah, actually I do. I like dialogue. I like well-made dialogue. Well-made dialogue is pretty hard to find, really. So, it's nice to have it. Hold on. I'm gonna get some water, and I'm going to, I'm probably just gonna watch the LCS. Saturday? Oh, wait, the LCS isn't even on for another hour. Really? Wait, I'm only allowed to show... I might just turn off my stream then and come back in an hour. Because, like, I have a huge headache anyway. Might take a bit of a nap. I enjoyed the LCS. It's not bad. I mean, it's mostly just I have a huge headache and I don't really want to play League right now. And there's only so much Disco Elysium I can take.